everyone, my name is Rachel Ramirez. I am doing a study abroad in Prague, Czech Republic. I've been getting a lot of questions from people who are hoping to do my program or any program at their school, and from my friends and family about what my living situation is. And I live in an apartment with 3 roommates. I'm the 4th. And a lot of people are kind of, concerned about being far away from home and, being in a strange place. I want to say being in a new place, it is very different customs, different language, and, it's like the full 9 yards. It's completely different from America, but I really like my experience. So I'm hoping that by making this video, people who want to do study abroad but are afraid will be able to, kind of get some courage and take comfort in for a person who's never been outside of Texas, who is now on the complete opposite side of the world. It is doable, and the living situations, it will be different because I've never lived in an apartment before. I've never lived with roommates, but it's well worth it, and I really like it, and I'm enjoying my experience. My class is kind of difficult because of all the graduate and PhD research papers, academic research papers. I know, fun times, but my roommates, classmates, and professors are all very nice, so you can do it. And I want to start by showing you my apartment. It's a kind of an apartment tour. Keep in mind though, you will not be able to see some things. I'll try to give you I'll show you as much as I can, but I don't have my roommate's permission to show some other stuff, so I'm going to respect their privacy. However, my room you will be able to see completely. Alright. To start the tour, I want to show you the front door. Now we have the light switches, of course, that way we can turn the lights on for when it's dark and stuff. For security, because I know that's a big issue for some people, my apartment has a deadbolt lock, and for the purpose of this video, it is unlocked. And you will not be able, and of course this door handle. Now usually nobody would be able to open it unless they had a key to both the deadbolt right here and also to the door handle. And if you're worried about people breaking in and you're coming to the Czech Republic, the doors are always like this, because like how in movies people use credit cards to like break their way in and it opens. Well, you can't do it here because the doors stick out a little bit on the other side, and also it kind of helps with soundproofing. However, if you are in study abroad, keep in mind about your neighbors. I've been able to talk to the neighbor on the far right, but he was very particular about being silent after 10 because he works really hard in the morning and afternoon, and at night he just wants to relax and sleep. So he usually takes the stairs there because it's right in his apartment. We're on the 5th floor though. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I prefer to take the elevator. It's really old though, so yeah, it's kind of questionable, but it's worth it. I'm very brave. Now, no matter which country you go to, there are going to be some basic rules that people are going to want you to follow, your neighbors especially. So I would say get to know your neighbors, ask them questions, what are some things that they like, so that way you can help make relationships with your neighbors, because I'm very lucky. Mr. Hans over there is very nice, and he's pro-America kind of. He's very pro-Texan, so I don't know if that's pro-America, but he's very pro-Texan, so yay. Another thing is a difference that might be from your apartments versus mine. Mine is a very big apartment. We're on the very top floor, so we get a shoe rack to put our dirty or wet shoes, and a rack to put our coats and whatever else is wet here. Our apartment manager left his umbrella here, so we're just using it because he has a key, so he can come in whenever, and he can take his umbrella whenever he wants. Now, this is the kitchen area. This is what I call the accounting desk, because my roommates are in an accounting class and they like to use this for homework since there's 3 of them. And you can see their accounting textbook there. It's a very nice apartment, very spacious again. We have really pretty wood beams throughout the apartment since this is technically a basement. Lots of lighting, both through windows and electricity. there's a lot of storage space in our apartment, which really surprised me because if you see any documentaries or videos, most European countries are very limited space, so there's not a lot of storage. But we're quite lucky in order to be able to get as much storage as is possible, and I'm quite amazed by that in all actuality. Also, another thing I'm amazed at is that you might not find is a working dishwashing machine. This is rare, I know this, so we're very lucky to have it working, because most of the time it would just be hand washing. I'm used to hand washing, so that's why the dishes are drying there and not in the dishwasher. And we have, what are essentials in America, microwave, a coffee maker. My roommates use that more than me because I don't really drink coffee, and a toaster. We also have this really pretty skylight that lets in natural lighting in the kitchen, and this is where I come to look at the moon because from my bedroom I cannot see the moon. Now, on this end, there's tons of storage. I'm very amazed, but there's also, your refrigerator will sometimes look like your drawers, just, for look's sake. My roommates and I, we like to cook a bit, so, we had the basic essentials that we would need: water, eggs, fruits and veggies, yogurt, and of course, a little bit of takeout, some bread that you saw there. We use this little nook as a cutting, to cut our meats and whatever else needs cutting. This is, we're using this as like a dirty utensil holder, which is why it is just randomly there. Because, we like to cut our meat there, so that's why. And we also are getting ready to throw garbage, so our garbage is neatly gathered there. And we have a designated space for where we put bags that will go into the trash can, once we replace them. And of course, we have our fan and our stove. I will say this, though. This is a gas stove, and I've never worked with gas, so see if one of your roommates can help you, because mine did, and it was very useful. The way you would use the gas stove, you would light a match, after turning on the gas, turn on gas, light match, and let the, when you see the flames, come on, you will essentially blow out the match and put water on it so that way it won't set fire, because if you light your apartment on fire, your apartment owner will not be happy, your manager will not be happy, and your neighbors will not be happy. A big difference from the US and Europe is the size of the stoves. In America, we have huge stoves, sometimes king-size stoves. Like, this would be considered a baby stove, but it does the job for us, so we're quite happy with it. Now, this was the kitchen and, the dining room. Now, we are walking to the living room. Essentially, this is a really great hangout spot for my friends and my roommates and, anyone we really want to have up here. We haven't had that many except our really good friends in Prague. And we have the wooden beams that are great. Our ceiling is slanted, though, so we have to be very careful about not bumping our heads, like for those of us that sit on the couch at the corner. This is where I usually study. I like to read, as you can see by my homework. If you do the Texas Tech Study Abroad program, they will usually give you a phone, so that way your professors, at least if you're in the faculty-led program, your professors want to get a hold of you. They want to know what's going on, how you're doing. They do a pretty good job of keeping contact, but it is up to you as well. So, just in case they give you a phone, in case you get separated from the group, you just are having a hard time and want to talk to someone who's in authority, you have that. And this is a research paper that I was telling you about. It's pretty thick, but, it will get done. And also, here's my desk. I like to use it. The only thing is, though, is because of the slanted ceilings, I'm very careful about doing that at night, about studying at night, because, I don't want to bump my head unnecessarily. And the window here, you got a pretty good view. This is what I see, because we have a park that's like a minute away, but we are in Europe, so we will be usually across from buildings. But I like the architecture here, so I like the view. Some people might not, but they're not me. Just want to give you as much of a view as I possibly can. So that was the living room, and there is the hallway leading to the bedrooms here. There's more storage here. One of my roommates is using this to hang her coat because she likes to go out whenever, and she doesn't really, she's on the go a lot, so she uses that. And this is kind of just like a big old closet naturally. Here is our bathroom. Okay, I'm just going to have a fangirl moment. I love this tub. I absolutely love it. It is one of my favorite things in this apartment. I love it. I cannot be without it. It's very nice just to relax and everything, because, I am in a different country, so I do get a little stressed out, and, sometimes I do miss my friends and family. Yeah, sometimes. I love you. You know that. So since there's 4 of us, we decided to split up, kind of like the racks. 2 of my roommates have their own hand towel and their body towels. In the corner there is the washing machine. It's very rare to have a drying machine in Europe. So we have this rack that we can fold out and have an air dryer. I really like using it, but it is kind of a pain to put together. Now, if your dryer is like this, I want to show you how to use it really quickly, just off topic, but it is very useful. Pretty much you would lift, you won't push it down or you'll break the handle, you will lift the handle and it will open. And you can fill it with your fabric softener, stain removal, detergent, whatever it is that you usually put in your washing machine, you will put it in these slots, but do read for the max. They have differences for liquid and powder, so just be very careful about that. And to open this washing machine, it pretty much is just like a tumbling bin, so it's very different from anything I've seen in the US. But to open it, what you would do is you would press the white button, push down, and you will hear that pop. The front lid will open, and the bottom lid will also open. So you can just put your clothes in there, and that is how you get to work. To close it, it's kind of tricky, but essentially what I do, I push the bottom lid down, and I also push the front lid down until it locks, and when you hear the lock, you'll hear it click, and that's how you close it. Again, it's very tricky, so I still struggle with it, but that's how you do it. So again, bathtub, amazing bathtub. We have a toilet, a trash can, and a bidet. We have not been able to figure out how to use it, but we have it just in, for decoration, I guess. And we have a small window that lets in fresh air, and a shower. We have more slanted ceilings here, so we have to be very careful about not hitting our arms or heads for those who are tall. I am not tall, so I don't really have to worry about that. And this is a rarity, double sinks in Europe. That doesn't exist. In Texas, that's really well liked. Actually, all throughout America, it's well liked, but in Europe, it's kind of rare. We have more storage there. And just in case you guys do not know what I look like, this is me, so hi. All right. And also in the corner there, you can see our water heater. Do not turn that off. For anybody who does not know what a water heater is, it's super important because without the water heater, you don't get water. And it would really stink because it controls cold water, warm water. One of my roommates had tried in the past to turn it off and she couldn't figure it out, and I'm very grateful about that because we would be without water for a very long time. Also, another thing, be mindful about, know what knowledge you do and do not have. Ask your apartment owner about or manager any questions you have because they will pop up. They will, and it's better that you know how to use them before you break them, because ours, we had to give a $100 deposit, so in case one of us broke something, our $100 would be taken away, and we would have to pay for something, because I know one of my pals, their key broke off in their lock and they had to pay for it, so they were not happy about that, but they had to. Now here is an example very quickly of what my other roommates' rooms look like. You have a window, you have 2 beds, and that's essentially it. They're lucky enough to have a closet right there, but I don't want to invade their privacy too much, so that's all you're going to see. And this is my room. I have my dresser that I use for storage of clothing and some other things that I'm not really going to get into for security reasons. Be sure that you have places that you can put very important information like your IDs, your health insurance for another country, your metro, tram, any public transportation pass that you have. It's very useful because in the Czech Republic, they can ask to see your ID anytime, day or night. It does not matter. But that's usually just police. So if it's a stranger, don't do that. It's probably a pickpocketer. And, I have 2 different things that I take with me that I would be lost without. Try to make sure that everything that is valuable to you can fit in your pocket. And in case it doesn't, like for me, this bag is very useful. It holds my cell phones and everything. And the only way I can take it off is if you take it off my neck. So, yeah, nobody's really going to be doing that. And also what I want to show you before I forget are the plugins. They're very different from those in the US. There's only 2. So, just make sure that you buy an adapter or a connector before you travel out of the country, because if you don't, you will not be able to charge your iPhone, your computer, any electronics, and you will be sad. I will not even lie to you. You will be sad if you cannot charge your electronics, because this age is the electronic time. And this is a wooden beam that I like to use as a desk, and I suggest to anyone who has this apartment in the future do the same thing as well. Nightstand, table. It's very useful. And those are more plugins for electricity, which are awesome, but I don't know exactly why those are on the ceiling, because I'm not that tall, and I'm not standing on my bed to possibly be able to touch it. Now, this is my bed. It's you can see my homework, essentially, and tests that I got back, so you're not supposed to see that, but you do have enough to where you can make some homey touches, but I would say keep your space as clean as possible, because there will be people that will come in here because they don't know they can't come in. So, just make your own personal touches, but don't be slobs, I would say. And that is a bag I need to put for the small trash cans, so I'll need to remind myself about that later. I use this. This is just my art supplies, my writing book and drawing pad. I use it to hold the window open when there's a nice breeze like there is here. And one thing I want to say, bring 2 pairs of tennis shoes, because the cobblestone is very popular in Europe, and they really hurt your feet for walking or running. These are running shoes for me, and I also have walking shoes over there, but 2 pairs of tennis shoes, my friends, they will help your feet. And also, another thing I want to show you, that I'm using this bookcase as a closet, essentially, jackets, pants, shirts, jeans, etc., etc. And also my book bag down there for when I don't feel like carrying my backpack. But one thing I want to be very sure that you pack is a first aid kit. This is sunscreen. But a first aid kit for you is very important, because pain medicines that are very popular in the US, like Advil and Tylenol, they're not sold here. There is a different name for something that you have to purchase in order to get the same kind of effect as Advil and Tylenol, but they have different dosages, so depending on your needs, it might be not as strong as you need it or way too strong for you. So the first aid kit, they will be understanding that you have one, so, pack the medicine that you really need and are used to in a first aid kit. I have Band-Aids, sunscreen, nail clippers, tweezers, and Advil in that pack, and it was very useful because my first day we had a walking tour of Prague, and Prague is not small, so my feet were killing me, which again, running shoes and walking shoes, tennis shoes in general, your friends. Very much your friends. And also, we just have light, a window. Oh, I want to show you the view. It's not totally spectacular. You could just see, essentially other buildings and the net above that keeps out burglars, so nobody tries to break in from the roof. But overall, it's a very nice space. I would say study abroad is scary at first, because you're in a completely different place that you're unfamiliar with, but it's well worth it. So if you're thinking about doing it, I would suggest applying and, finding a program that you really like to do, because it's well worth it. All right, I better get going. Bye.